Welcome to Cyclops is Waiting for Me, an X-Men animated recap podcast with Marvel Anime, X-Men, Episode 7, Betrayal. I'm JC, and I am sorry that we had to miss, and I didn't want to bug Rod to make a graphic to say the episode was coming out late, because you probably hear a little bit of a twinge in my voice, but like I was making hacking noises that nobody wants to have fill their ear holes. So I decided for the good of the audience that have put up with our bullshit, I did not want to make it worse. So, yeah.
And I'm Rod, and I haven't exactly had a lot of free time either, so it wasn't the worst thing to have a free evening that day.
Yeah.
Not even to catch up, just to like do normal.
We're recording on a Tuesday, which feels weird. I'm not used to recording on a Tuesday. It's almost always been a Thursday since we started doing the remote recordings on this one. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, Cyclops is Waiting for Me is our podcast series where we're going back and watching every single X-Men animated episode we can find. This podcast started with the original 1992 X-Men, the animated series, building up to the release of X-Men 97. Along the way, we've completed X-Men Evolution, Wolverine and the X-Men, and have our companion interview show, the Xavier Files. Season 2 of X-Men 97 is coming this summer, but until then, we're going to be diving into Marvel Anime X-Men for our very first time. Use same disclaimer. It's technically not my first time, but it's functionally my first time, because holy crap, I didn't remember this storyline at all. this episode, the next episode.
Did you notice that they even switched the intro on this episode?
Oh, I didn't. I noticed it started right away, but I didn't know. I didn't recognize.
We'll get in.
It's been weeks since we did this last.
I mean, it's been 5 weeks since our last recording, because we do these every month now. Yeah. Some quick reminders. We're a recap show about a series that started over 15 years ago. There are going to be spoilers. If you don't want it spoiled for you, pause the podcast, watch the episode, whether that's on DVD or whatever other website you could find it on, and then come back. Or just listen to us and hope that we do a good job of explaining it. We are not currently sponsored by or affiliated with Marvel Animation, Disney, or Disney Plus in any way.
And don't forget to follow us on social media at Cyclops IWFM Pod on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and like one of these days I'll post on TikTok. Although I looked at our last like few posts from a long time ago, and they have like 3 views, which is absurdly low even for like TikTok. So
I deleted TikTok fully off of my phone at this point, so.
I don't blame you. It's not great.
No. But today we're going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 7, titled Betrayal. It originally aired on May 20th, 2011 in Japan under the title Shock. But in the US, it would air on December 2nd of 2011, and it has a 6.8 star rating on IMDb. So, this was a boring episode.
Actually, both these episodes, didn't they kind of just feel like the middle acts of a movie? Which I guess this whole series kind of is this long movie, right? Like, it's literally like one main storyline going.
Yeah, and it's if you divide it into thirds, this is the end of the second act for these 2 episodes, so you're pretty spot on with it. I just was like not excited over this episode, like, and I think you got the better one because at least there's a fight in that one, but this episode was not doing it for me. But yeah, the intro did switch at this episode, whereas it was the xmen and why am I blanking on his name? The leader of the xmen. Not Syndrome, not Synapse.
Not Trask or anything.
No, it was the guy the one who got decimated in the last episode. Can't remember his name. But anyway, it is replaced by the Inner Circle, and then Yui and the kid in the opening intro now. I'm trying
to look at my notes, and I don't think I wrote that guy's name in any of my notes. I just said mech suit, human.
Sublime.
Okay. There it is.
I had the S.
Yeah.
This is what happens when we're not recording like weekly. I mean, it's going to be so weird to go from doing this once a month to when X-Men 97 Season 2 comes out and we go back to doing a weekly pod, especially because I'm not unemployed when Season 2 is coming out.
we still don't have an exact date for that yet, right? Either, because we're technically like in a few weeks we'll be technically in the summer, like as far as media goes, season. Because little side quest: Mortal Kombat 2, the movie, comes out May 8th, and that technically kicks off the summer blockbuster season. Which I'm not saying whether or not I saw the movie a couple years ago. True. However, I got 2 tickets already for 2 separate days. So do with that information.
2 separate days? You're a psychopath.
I might have a good feeling. It's pretty. But anyway, there's a reason they moved it to a summer blockbuster slot. But specifically, if you're, and this is a little side quest, a fan of Mortal Kombat, because I'll just put it that way. General audiences, maybe. If you don't think you're interested in it, maybe not. Maybe wait for your other friends to see it. But that was a good one. Anyway, but I was getting at is like, so we could technically see like X-Men 97 if they said summer as early as like maybe mid-May or something, you know, or like June. Yeah,
because last week at the time of recording this was the anniversary of Remember It, because a lot of our Instagram friends were sharing the Gambit candle meme and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Yep.
Did you see the rumors about? Did you see the rumors about? Or I guess they're not even so much rumors of the X-Men movie stuff.
Yes, I had seen that.
So
that
there
was
was
going to be the original like first class of people, the original 5 and such.
Oh, I didn't even see that much. I saw a couple like casting rumors. Those were the rumors. But then the thing that was like I forget how they confirmed it, but they said like 2028.
Oh, I had not seen that part. Yeah,
because pre-production is starting on it. Like I think they said they have the writers together right now doing pre-pro, and it's like 2 of the writers of Beef.
And the writers have specifically been looking at the Chris Claremont run of X-Men, as well as the Grant Morrison stuff, which we reference here all the time. Also, don't know how we ignored it going into this. You know, we can't ever start the actual episode before 10 minutes in. But there was a character sheet that was released online that showed a bunch of headshots of the characters in the show for X-Men 97, which included like Polaris and the new version of Sunspot and Jubilee and stuff like that. And I've seen a lot of places say it's the official roster, but I've not seen it posted from any official source, which is like no official source has commented on it, but everybody's saying it's the official roster, which seems counterintuitive to me.
So this is just hearsay around Hollywood for anybody that's not around here. But there's this kind of tinfoil hat theory that Disney has been doing a lot of like the leaks themselves, you know. This kind of smells of that, because like there was one about Doomsday that was a few months back that I think it showed like a green screen like spaceship with like the guy that plays the Thing and then like a couple other characters and stuff.
Right.
And like someone made a good point. They were like, that's such like the way it was shot, it was like this was such a purposeful that, you know, like no one would have left set with that photo.
Right.
And so but it makes good conversation, and even like all the conversations about like who is and who isn't in Doomsday and stuff it's free promo to have everybody like have this whirlwind conversation. So with like X-Men 97, it's like if they just like let one of these images like slip out, or they put it somewhere on the internet and they know it's going to like take off and stuff, even if it doesn't end up being the final art, it gets everybody talking about X-Men 97 again without having to spend any marketing budget.
Well, what we did get that was official is the Funko Pops for season 2 have been revealed, and it had the like Outlands or Badlands, I forgot what it's specifically called, but it had the future Scott and Jean in their outfits. Had 2 versions of Apocalypse, which we obviously knew Apocalypse was going to be the focus of the season based on all the context clues. It had Storm. I'm assuming it's the Storm in the past version, because she has like robes around her and stuff like that. But it also specifically has the like version of Wolverine from when he was a Horseman of Apocalypse, where he basically had like a bandana that was like covering like from his nose to the back of his head, and it was like wrapped up and stuff like that. Got rid of the spike basically. But that was from I want to say the Onslaught storyline to go with the theory that everybody's pushing from it. I believe that was when he was doing the Bone Claw story. I might be mixing up the Onslaught part of it, but yeah. So like that is official. Like that artwork is there, and that came from Funko directly. So
from everything we've been seeing of season 2 so far, like little tidbits, I wouldn't get my hopes up about Onslaught. Just put that out there for everybody. I know that's what they set up at the last season, but it just it seems like a lot for that and Apocalypse and stuff.
Well, because you have literally 3 separate time frames too.
Yeah.
Like you have the team in the past, you have the team in the present, and you have the team in the future. You have to get them all back into one spot. It seems like season 2 ends with the jump to Onslaught, because we're also doing season 2 in 9 episodes as opposed to 10 episodes from everything we've heard as well.
Yeah. And I think it's out there already that we know that season 3 is already in production.
Yes, people have talked about recording.
So there's like
VO, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a plan and everything. But like I think season 2, just by the timeline thing you mentioned, I don't think there's going to be a middle ground where like it was just fine. I think it's going to either be like everybody's going to say like this was a mess because of timelines, or like wow, they masterfully did this. And so I don't know. We'll see. Because like you said, like three different like timelines all going in animation and stuff. It's that's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that they actually separate it instead of doing the like Savage Land jumping back and forth thing. Like do an episode in the past, an episode in the present, an episode in the future. Maybe do that twice and then bring them back together in like 7, 8, 9.
We'll see. Anyway,
but we've made it past the 10-minute mark, which means we can talk about the actual episode. So, they are in the Snowy Lodge where it left off. Dr. Sisake is, like, I wouldn't have assumed this was the Institute until they reveal that it's actually, like, this big, like, underground, like, thing that she has built there. But because it just looks like a little, like, lame-ass cabin. Yeah. That Hisako used to go to after school, but, like, it seems like it's pretty far from where her school was and stuff. I was like really confused about the geography of all of it, to be totally honest.
So was Hisako.
Yeah. And the doctor is like, hearing news about all the like abnormal mutant activity and stuff like that. And she's really, really bad at lying too. Like she's just like playing dumb and not convincing at all with like, oh, that doesn't seem like it's true or real. Like her attitude is just so like blasé about it.
I think that was the tell, or the way she was written was like, I don't know anything about anything that you just said. Like what's Charles's name even?
Yeah. Yeah, and then Hisako brings up that she talked to Professor X about it, and she couldn't really like remember anything about the Institute, which should be the biggest red flag for like a little kid, like not to remember something from a couple weeks or months ago at most.
Yeah, and she's not that young. It's not like she was talking about being 2 years old there, and
Yeah, it was like weeks to months ago. It was not years ago for a teenager.
I didn't even like grasp it was that recently. That's cool.
That was I mean, they were talking about her getting like training before Emma got to her, and Emma's only been there for a minute, so
yeah.
And then Yui asks about Charles specifically, and then switches to checking to see if he's coming, and then very pointedly keeps calling him Professor Xavier because she caught herself actually saying Charles in that. More questions about the Academy. She's not a mutant, she's an idealist, and then starts questioning everybody's the memory on stuff. Like, I don't know, maybe it translated better or translated poorly, but she didn't feel like a convincing character for any of the people in that room. Like, I feel like they were all just like, yeah, cool. And they were too okay with how shady she was being.
Well, I think that was part of the act too, right? Because we'll find that out later.
Mm-hmm. That
Yeah, and just the way she's drawn, right? Is that trope of like animated people's like, which one's the villain? It's one with the sharp glasses.
So Hisako is remembering that there's like a small boy who is like a year younger than her, but the memories are all fuzzy. Sisake says she doesn't remember the kid at all, and then it kind of like gaslights her into being like, well, maybe it was a kid that you went to regular school with that you're confusing them with.
Sure. Yeah,
Nope.
I guess, like...
And then we get 3 researchers come in. You get Koichi Kaga, Jan Sanada, and Riko Murasake, who, as far as I could...
you got those names.
I wrote it down when they were said, because they didn't get, like, said in full any other time, too. Like, they say, like, last names and stuff like that. But as far as I could tell... Similar to Yui, these are characters who are made just for this show and don't have a regular 616 counterpart in them. So,
which doesn't give them a high probability of surviving the series.
Mm-hmm. No. Did you pick up the reference of when Rico was like, "Oh, you guys teamed with blah"? Did you pick up that?
I heard Sunfire. I did pick a note of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I kind of dig that they're like doing those like little like Easter egg drops in there. So
yeah, I can't remember if we're gonna see him or not. But like it's kind of funny if we don't see him, then it's almost like a writer was like, "Shit, we were in Japan and didn't include like one of the Japanese mutants." Like we just got.
There's only like 3, and Hisako is one of them. So and they weren't going to go for Silver Samurai because that would have been too on brand. Here's the part of the notes that I can't read. Wolverine questions if something, and Beast says it's worth checking.
I don't remember because my next note is Beast says the weather's clearing up, so I think I must have missed that section. Yeah,
there was some quick interaction with Wolverine. Apparently it wasn't that important for Rod to remember or me to write it down clearly. That looks like Engine, but that makes no sense. But maybe that's why they decided to go with the Blackbird or the X-Jet, right? Is something worth checking out there, and so that's why. Because because the next line is that Beast suggests that Emma, Scott, and Hisako stay. Scott for a second is like, "Oh no, I know the Blackbird better than everybody else," but then he like takes Beast's hint and decides to stay on it. And then they finally broach the question about the lab and where is it and the fact that it's underground. I must have been high on cold meds when I was writing these notes, Rod, because I cannot read what I wrote this time.
So the next thing I wrote after this is when Hisako says she started remembering the little boy was a year younger. And then they keep grilling Dr. Sisake, and she's like, "No, I only met Xavier once."
Yep.
And then she leaves with her researchers and says to like, "You can always like hit me up on the telecom or something if you need anything." Yeah. But then when she leaves the room, Hisako's like, "That was weird."
Yeah, and Cyclops of all people is like, "That didn't seem that weird to me," because he's a broken person. But Emma's like, well, obviously she's lying. Scott accuses her of reading her mind. And Emma's like, no, that's just female intuition. She was hiding stuff. And she points out that Yui had called out Charles by his full name. So,
and also her tone of voice, her body language, manners, like everything.
Yeah, everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything that Scott, apparently the master strategist, cannot pick up on is just human interaction. And then we get to the notes of our joke in the last episode got worse, Rod.
Oh yeah, because it wasn't snow. With the jet being surrounded by the viscous stuff.
And it hardened.
I didn't even think about that.
Dude, it got so much worse because of what we said last episode.
I thought that initially, but only because was it Wolverine was like, "Storm, why don't you make the sun come out?" And Storm picks up a handful of it. She's like, "This isn't snow." I'm like, "Oh my god, what is it?" Like, I didn't think it was actually going to be that, but it's like, "Oh my god, what is it?"
It's not snow. It's got like crystal in it, and it's like parts of it got harder and like diamond like, and I'm just like, this is so not okay right now.
Were they just saying it was supposed to be like mineralized, or were they literally saying diamond? Because they said diamond, but I don't know if that was just like an exaggeration.
I thought it was more like crystallized rather than diamond specifically. Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because obviously it becomes loaded if you say diamond, that it has to be like Emma associated kind of scenario.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that vibe from it.
Okay.
But I'm just like, the jet is a hardened sock right now, essentially.
Yeah. In a teenage boy's room.
Mm-hmm. And then they reach out to the professor, say, hey, we need the backup jet because this version of Xavier is so rich, he has backup jets.
That are autopiloted, right?
Yeah, that he could just send across the fucking planet. Like, literally the opposite side of the planet on autopilot. And then immediately he gets a call from Sisake, who's like, hey, so your students are here. That's a weird coincidence.
He grills her too, right? Like, there's all this weird stuff happening where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you have anything to do with that? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like this really passive-aggressive conversation at the beginning between the two of them. And she's like, I just want to research in peace. I don't want to deal with this. For some reason, I made sure to note that she had a giant computer tower in my notes, too.
I didn't remember that, but...
It was like on the desk. It was the entire like height of the desk. It was like stupid big. It was like one of the old original Alienware computer towers where it was like for your computer to be able to run a good game, it would just like cover up everything.
Be a space heater.
Yeah. She's saying it has nothing to do with her. Professor Xavier disagrees on it. And then they start to have the conversation about the hidden face of the child. And that's when Yui gives the big reveal, which I could not have given less of a shit about. Yeah. I did not care at all about the fact that this was like, Xavier has another kid. That's how it felt. It felt like it's another bad stereotype of the tropey X-Men mystery babies to me.
I think what's funny is like two things. Is I don't know which episode it was, but I think I mentioned that. Like whenever
in one of his original flashbacks, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, was that like his son, I assumed, or something? And we didn't know anything at that point. It was like maybe.
And I learned to not discount your wild ideas because of previous seasons, so I didn't shut that down.
Yeah. And then the other thing was, like, she brought that up way too casually because, but simultaneously revealing it as, like, a surprise to him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was like, oh, yeah, that little boy, yeah, he was probably your son. Also, he's dead now.
Yeah. Like, she literally was like, congratulations, you were a negligent father, and also the kid is dead. And I'm not going to tell you anything about it, either.
And did she say something like, you probably couldn't see his face because he's not around anymore, but you probably started seeing him because I happened to be thinking about him at that point. I'm like, there are so many more questions now than the original question, because, like, if he can't probe that area psychically because of whatever block is happening that we still haven't found out about.
Yep.
Then what is she the block or something? Because he's getting glimpses into her mind when she happens to be thinking about their dead son that he didn't know about. Or maybe now, between what happened to Hisako and other people, was Professor Xavier also part of like this mind wipe thing or something?
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of like questions which I think we're gonna get the answers to. I don't get the vibe that this is gonna be a cliffhanger scenario series. I think we're gonna get the answers to it, but it's like, yeah, you know, what, or is it just a simple logistic of like, if he was reading her mind from across the planet trying to think about her, is it like static that the signal was weak so he didn't get the face kind of scenario? Or it was such a generic face because he didn't know it was actually his kid kind of vibe.
Yeah, because they I'm trying to remember where it was. I don't think it was this. I think in the next episode they set up like a Chekhov's gun situation, And so they didn't do that in this episode, or they didn't do that with this kid thing in the sense of like, or not the kid thing, about the mind reading thing.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't go into it like knowing how it worked, like what the rules were for like how that whole mind reading thing worked. So
I don't think they know the rules for the mind reading on this one. But then she's like, I promise one day I'll tell you everything, just not now, and hangs up on him. And it's like, you just hit him with the hardest thing you could, and you're like, bye, I'm out. I don't like her either. Like, I'm sorry, I just do not like her as a character. She sucks.
I'm starting to wonder if that thing is like an East Asian parent thing, because like even my parents, like, you know, every family has like stuff, you know, there's no normal family. But like whenever I ask like my parents, especially my dad, about like something in our family history, he's like, I'll tell you when you're old enough. Just for the record, I will be 44 later this year. And
he still hasn't told you a lot of shit, I'm assuming.
No. But I've learned a lot of stuff because I'm an adult that can like comprehend things, you know. So like, so I just don't know that maybe that's it, or just parents in general. I don't know. I think it's like, yeah, I'll tell you all about it later. Like, but Xavier didn't seem that upset about it either, right? Or at least not at that moment. Maybe his actions later.
Even his level of shock was not like, oh, I had a kid. It was like, oh, okay. Yeah, like he was like numb.
I remember the other thing that I was thinking in that moment was like, yeah, I think I said something in an earlier episode, but the other thing is like, I love it kind of inadvertently reinforced the trope of like Charles's exes working in a lab together. I swear, if even one more of his exes joins Dr. Sisake in that lab, this is just a canon event for Xavier. Is his exes must join together in a lab to save the world.
You do know what's going to happen in X-Men 97 Season 2 now, because you've put this into the universe. At some point, Lilandra is going to come back to Earth and do something in the lab which is going to help save the X-Men from the time travel bullshit.
With like Moira or something?
Something.
Somebody. With Moira and, like, I don't know, who else is like Xavier baby daddy for? But,
well,
yeah,
I mean, Moira's husband is dead, so.
There you go.
Yeah. Remember, Banshee got bamfed, so.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he wasn't surprised. He's like, another one?
Mm-hmm. Dude got around before he settled down in New York, so.
Yeah.
And then I have a note that I regret writing down, which is Wolverine is kicking cum.
I put Diamond Snow, but we'll go with your.
Yep.
Off the Blackbird.
Rumbling starts, and then you start seeing a rolling snowball, which gets pointed out as having a very peculiar look. And it's like, well, yes, because it's literally changing directions and not just going straight downhill, guys.
But I kept changing my notes in this section because it kept cutting back and forth between like a full-on avalanche, you know, like the whole side of the mountain, and then like one singular gigantic snowball. Mm-hmm. But the snowball being like a cartoon one, like Wile E. Coyote would like fall down.
Oh, it was 100% a cartoony snowball. Like I've seen footage of enough, like, you know, disasters on Instagram reels. It's like, it never looks like that. It never looks like a ball. It's always like a wave of everything crashing at once, you know?
Yeah. I did love, though, because even though Wolverine wasn't my favorite growing up, because he was my brother's, like he was just like a little bit like too aggro, hyper, you know, aggressive.
You know what it gave the vibe up? Because he goes in and he goes to punch the snowball and he gets punched in the face for it. It was very similar to like the asshole kid who's like, I'm going to charge the snowman and tackle it. And it's like built around a metal pole, and they like bust their shoulder by doing it.
So that's what I was going to say. Is even though he wasn't my favorite growing up, I love that he reinforces what I think of him by his response to the snowball is like, I'm going to punch it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna punch the snowball and break and get, you know, my face punched in.
No, plot twist: it was an avalanche.
It was not avalanche.
It was a guy called Rat, which I didn't see coming. So that's one thing I couldn't call.
Nope. It was the yellow guy named Rat, and then Marsh was the other guy who were members of the Inner Circle, and those are not characters that have equivalents in any other version of the Inner Circle that we have. So those were anime-specific versions. So, which is weird because now that means that the Inner Circle that we know about are Rat, Marsh, Emma, and Mastermind. And it's like, would Emma have hung out with Rat and Marsh? Like,
I was gonna say, like, now
it feels very off vibe for her. Yeah,
I'm seeing now like why she ran away.
Yeah, like other versions of Inner Circle are not great with what they've done to Emma and stuff like that, and it makes sense why she leaves a lot of them. I don't think she would have joined this one in the first place, you know?
Yeah. And then my next note is something I love putting down is big old fight.
Yep, I just put fight. Rat is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then we find out that Marsh's powers, because I don't know what Rat's powers were other than like fighty dude.
Snowball.
Yeah. But Marsh is able to like shapeshift and stuff like that. And an actual avalanche begins, and he just turns into a puddle to get away. And then I feel like there was 3 seconds of footage that was cut from this episode. Okay, because all of a sudden, they're just on top of the jet.
Yeah, so yeah.
There's no avalanche hitting or anything like that. It's just, hey, an avalanche is coming. The bad guys got away. We're standing on top of the jet. That, I don't get it.
And so this is the moment that I mentioned about being a Chekhov's gun. As another thing I said in another episode, like early on in this, was like, we don't know about shapeshifters and stuff. As soon as they introduced this random shapeshifter, I was like, oh, so that's the Emma from the Vision then, right? Like, there's no other reason to randomly introduce a shapeshifter in the middle of this avalanche that did nothing.
Counterpoint, I think Emma in the Vision is just Mastermind making Scott think it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think they chose shapeshifter because it's really great for animation to have a like viscous body that Wolverine could slash into pieces.
But he didn't have to be there though, right? Like, it could have just been Rat that made an avalanche and then like ran away or something. But then like this shapeshifter character kind of taunts them a little bit, and then actually the scene kind of almost didn't need to happen. Besides them knowing that the jet is
jet's stuck. Yeah.
It
was. It felt like an incomplete scene because they teleported to the top of this thing. Yeah. Yep. And then it cuts over to the lab where Yui is grabbing vials, hands them out to the kids, and they're just like, "Yep, I don't want to." One of the guys is like, "I don't want anybody to see me take my drugs."
Yeah, was that the one that we don't follow up with at the end of the episode, or the end of the next episode? I couldn't keep track of everybody's names. Okay, yeah. That's like a mystery loose thread of why he wanted to be alone. So I guess we'll figure out what he's about. Mm-hmm. But it starts off that scene making it look like she's handing vials to these scientists to go test with. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they just start injecting themselves. Like, oh,
right. Yeah, I mean, my read on anytime somebody's like, here, take this thing, and somebody's not willing to take the thing in front of other people means they're not taking it, kind of scenario.
Yeah. Oh, and I love how the doctor was like, make sure the X-Men don't see. He's like, you mean in the underground bunker we told them not to come to? Like, if we see them, there's a bigger problem.
Yeah, like they've already broken the rules. Which the X-Men are literally just like upstairs sitting around a coffee table waiting at that point.
Yeah.
Hisako is rubbing her palm, and you see this bruise, and she just has what she refers to as like a burn on her palm that has always been there, and then it's just never addressed again.
Yeah, she said it started hurting when they got to that cabin or something. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I guess we all have that piece of pencil lead that was stuck in us for too long from the 80s, but like that seemed like pretty big.
My elbows.
Oh, really? You have pencil in your elbow?
No, not pencil. From when I used to wrestle. Yes, internet. John Carl used to wrestle before being a writer at WWE because my life is that fucking weird. I had. Have you ever seen a Berserk before?
Mm-mm.
looks like there's like a half a ping pong ball under your skin. It's all
It's like
fluid.
a cyst, kind of. Oh, gotcha.
It's like squishy.
But is it from your joint fluid? Is that why?
It was fluid, I'll tell you that. But I landed wrong enough times on my elbows that I had one in each elbow at the same time.
Yikes.
Got it taken care of, went back, continued wrestling. They came back, and then I landed wrong, and they went away, and I'm going to spare details on it, but now I know when it's going to rain in Los Angeles.
Oh, man. Oh, so you have arthritis now. So it sounds like it was joint fluid then.
Probably.
It's like a Bible bump.
I could tell you it's way better in Los Angeles than it was in Connecticut, because I would know it was going to rain a lot more frequently in Connecticut. So
Yeah, I just have like normal arthritis, or normal, but when I was a kid. So that part's not normal. I had it pretty young. But same thing, I think I felt the air change like 1 second before the thunder hit the other day. Did you have that? Like
the
it's like
one giant, with the one giant thunder crack,
there was one giant one, and there was a couple more, but it rained for like a solid like 5 minutes, and then the sun came out and it didn't rain again. But it wasn't raining before that. It wasn't the forecast.
Yep.
It just happened. I put my patio stuff back out. It was like, oh, okay. Well,
No, it was one single thunder crack. The HOA text thread went off that somebody asked if it was a gunshot, which shows you don't know what a gunshot sounds like if you think thunder sounds like a gunshot. Gotta love Los Angeles.
I guess to their credit, if you're not expecting a loud sound and you catch it halfway through, then at the moment maybe you don't have time to process it.
Rod's almost been killed by a fucking piece of a car flying at him by my house before, so
I was gonna say at your place.
yeah. Your area safer.
Yeah.
But Hisako is like, oh, I'm gonna go find Dr. Sisake and figure out what's going on. And then you get this like awkward moment of like Emma's like, hey, can we have a personal conversation right now? And I was like,
my note was Emma and Scott have a horny secret moment.
Thank you. Remember how I said in other seasons of other shows, you're reading too much into this? No, Same page. Absolutely same page right now.
Well, because I think Scott was like, shouldn't she use the intercom like the doctor said? And Emma's like, shh, let the child go.
It's like, if this was an American show, she would have like put her finger on his lips and be like, shh.
Yeah.
So Xavier starts to make the jet take off on autopilot, and then he holds off, and then it shuts down, and I was just like, are they implying that he's not going now, or that he's going to go do it himself? It was weird that he like started a jet up, and then it looked like he was shutting it down. It was like, I get what it is now after the fact, but I was like, that's a weird choice. So
yeah, I just assumed he was going because it finally hit him. He's like, oh shit, I have a dead son. Like,
yeah, yes you do. I'm as bad with my kids as Magneto is.
Maybe worse.
Yeah, because Magneto only wishes Quicksilver was dead.
Yeah, he like, I guess we don't know what happened to this son for Xavier, but at least like Magneto's kids became kind of villains and stuff. So like they weren't necessarily productive members of society, but they were doing stuff. You know,
Magneto never knows what's going on. Or sorry, Charles never knows what's going on with his kids in any version. But Emma asks to read Scott's mind. She wants to help him get a little bit of closure. And then, you know, it gets brought up of like, well, what do you mean? I don't need your help. And she brings up the human hesitation that he had when he was having like his like trauma moment tied to Jean. She says that Hisako asked Emma to help and everybody's worried. And, you know, he's like, well, it's not their thing to worry about. It's like, well, yeah, if you're the field leader and you get everybody killed, it becomes everyone else's problem in there. And then Emma does what Emma does, which is manipulate the situation perfectly and says, well, it's what Jean would want. And it's like, bam, just punch him right in the stomach for that. Wolverine and the team are walking back, and Wolverine implies that there are even more people at the Institute than what they had seen too, which doesn't
I don't know
get addressed.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think because we saw the 3 scientists, and I don't think we saw more people than that. And so we saw less by the end of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's confusing. And then, yeah, Storm just points out that Yui was basically acting like she wants to get rid of them. It's like, yes, Storm, yes, she does. They're not going with the whole, like, show, don't tell thing. They're doing show and tell right now. It feels like. I think this might be my least favorite episode of the series right now. The more I'm talking about it, the less I'm liking it.
I can see that. Not a lot happens. They're in a cabin in the basement, and then briefly in the woods. That's the whole episode.
Yes. Emma goes in to read Scott's memories. They have the Scott and Jean flashback with the small brief lives, all that stuff from that's been seen already. They have the kiss, the "you have to kill me," and then seeing the fake Emma, which, like I said, I think that's Mastermind in my mind, not the shapeshifter. On that side, then there's the "I love you," the big blast that happens, and then Scott in the rain, and you have Scott yelling at Scott, "Who are you? Who do you think I am?" And then Scott shoots himself, which is something that would make a bunch of X-Men fans happy, I feel like. Also today, they announced the Scott visor as one of the toys available that could probably go on my shelf next to the Magneto helmet.
Oh, that's fun. That's kind of a throwback, right? Because they had a visor back in the day, in the Toy Biz days, right?
But it was the one that like had the like cover on your head. This is the forward visor.
Because this is definitely being made for adults, right? So the other one was like kids, so they need something that's like a helmet they'll sit on.
No, this is definitely made for somebody our size, 100%.
Yeah. Well, just like that'd be the only thing that could like only an adult could like have like a visor around the front of their face, you know, like that'd fall off like a kid's face and everything.
But yeah, so Emma like is shocked and Scott is sweating. Then they just, one thing that they've been doing is they keep showing a fireplace and like the fireplace burning out. And I did not get the symbolism of that at all.
I just assumed it was part of the atmosphere because there's a few times where like stuff
they showed it like three times in the episode. Yeah,
but like shots linger for like 3 or 4 seconds extra than they should. Like I think it was when they gave the injections to the scientists. Like one of the guys was walking away, and it was like 2 seconds too long. Like it was just like slow steps. And I was like, are they just filling out time, like runtime?
Emma asks Scott if he's feeling better. Emma says that she understands why. And you know, the other Scott, you know, he blames himself for not saving her. Again, it was show and tell. It was like there was no I don't get the fucking fire, but this one they're like, I'm just gonna beat you over the head with it right now, right?
Yeah.
He has to blame someone for it, and that's why he's choosing to blame himself. So Emma points out that, you know, the dream needs to persevere, and Jean knew that. And then you have like, this was the horniest moment of it, where it's like, you're not as bad as you seem, and then she blushes and Scott smiles, and it's like, dude, she was literally just helping you remember your girlfriend's death.
Yeah.
Like a minute ago at most.
Maybe that's what works for him, you know? You don't know.
And then it cuts to the scene underground where, you know, Yui is walking out, and then it's kind of like alien vision from like a video game where it's upside down. There's like a filter over it. And you see that Yui is about to be attacked. And I will say the anime trope that this show does really, really well is leave on really strong cliffhangers.
It is real. The credits.
It is really good about like, hey, something's going to go down. We'll see you next week.
I will give them credit for this. It's like a little bit of a preview of next week. Is they didn't like a bait and switch, that cliffhanger. Because, you know, sometimes they do that, like, where it's like, oh, no, I got attacked. And then the next episode, it's like, oh, you always sneaking up behind me. Mm-hmm. You know, like, she really got attacked. So.
But I will say, the on the next episode thing that plays after the credits, that one did feel like a bait and switch.
I don't have to remember what that was. I think I stopped it before the credits finished.
It's very, very focused on the incident with Xavier in the next episode, which we know is only like 4 seconds of the episode.
Yeah.
It's like that's half of the preview is that 4-second scene. So
nice.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, man.
And that was it. Things happened.
It's not bad. But this is the worst episode of the season, I would say.
It was fun. It was just it was a story connecting. It could have been like 15 minutes shorter, but it was fun.
Mm-hmm. It felt like, you know, our whole point of like, why did they do the jet scene? I think was to literally have any form of action and just get the introduction of Rat and Marsh out there. Because they didn't provide any value to that. They literally were just like, and we're here. Because they could have called for the jet from the place. Like, they didn't need to go to the Blackbird to call Xavier. So
I guess if we meet Rat and Marsh again, then I guess that makes sense. But
I feel like you have to. Using them for 35 seconds of a show seems like a waste.
I will say, though, I still think, like, and maybe this is like a repressed memory or something, but I feel like because the way they introduced Marsh, like he's going to be like the Emma thing, but I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, it is what it is. So I hope that this episode was worth people waiting an extra couple days for before it would go live. I'm going to wrap this up, Rod, and we're going to be done in under an hour right now. So thank you guys for joining us. If you like what you heard, make sure to drop them into... Oh, if you have any thoughts there. Wow. What happened with my voice there? We're going to take that again. Rod, you don't have to edit that out. Let's just leave it in for the fuck of it. Thank you for joining us. If you have any thoughts, make sure to drop them into the comments for either the YouTube upload, Spotify upload, or the official Instagram posts that are about this episode. If you like what you heard, we would appreciate a rating on the podcast app of your choosing. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, and YouTube Podcast.